To Extra Perspective, from desperate migrants waiting in Ciudad Juarez, many asylum seekers become impatient trying to set up an appointment. While some cross into the U.S. illegally, others say they want to follow the policies set by the Biden administration. But they're finding out that the real wall is not what they expected. ABC 7 Juarez correspondent Heriberto Perez and executive producer Jesus Rodriguez bring you this special report.
Every morning, many migrants wake up with conflicting feelings, optimism and tension.
Frustración pura. Frustración, desesperación.
This migrant is saying he feels frustration and desperation. It's all for one reason. He and others hope they will be able to get a chance to walk into the U.S. legally. There are apps for everything nowadays, even for those seeking asylum. Every day, several migrants camping on the streets of Juarez gather with their phones, not far from the border wall. Their goal, scheduling an appointment that could change their lives. In January of this year, the Biden administration launched the CBP One app to control the flow of asylum seekers. The government requires them to schedule the appointment with the app before they enter the U.S. Every day, just before 9 a.m., migrants have a window of about an hour to book an asylum interview.
Yo no quiero pasar ilegal, no quiero pasar por esos huecos.
Joel Vargas is saying it's not ethical to cross the border illegally. So he's been trying to do it the way the U.S. government wants him to do it. But he and other migrants often see this, error messages.
Con la CBP One llevamos aproximadamente casi 2 meses.
Joel says he's been trying to get an appointment for himself and his family for 2 months, without success. Most migrants do not reach the final 2 steps on the app, taking a selfie and booking the appointment. But while we were there, one of them did. It caught us by surprise. Look at what happened behind us.
Pasó, mira, la escaneó ella.
Quítate de aquí.
Loca.
Lismar jumped out of her tent and ran, telling everyone to move away. The app is asking her to take a photo of herself, which she takes. Her excitement is visible. And a few moments later, joy. But it doesn't last long. Moments later, the app gave her an error message. She couldn't get the appointment. And then, Joel also comes running. The app also asks him to take a selfie. He's able to take it. He reaches the final step to select the time and day of his appointment. But he experiences the same thing as Lismar, disappointment.
No, lo echó para atrás.
We asked Joel how he felt.
Es una frustración terrible.
He said it's a terrible frustration. Joel told us he's never gotten that far on the app.
Hoy es el día donde más lejos me llevó en el proceso.
As you may have noticed, migrants come running to this white blanket right here. This is because they say they need a white background to take a picture of themselves. But they also say if they don't use this white background, the application will give them an error message.
CBP One me rompió el corazón.
Lismar is saying the CBP One app broke her heart. And despite the disappointment, they are not losing hope.
Porque no la pierdo porque sencillamente hay razones para no perderla.
Joel says it doesn't make sense to lose it because of his wife and daughter.
No hay que perder la esperanza ni la fe.
Lismar says she doesn't want to lose hope or faith, but she broke down in tears moments later. But she asked us to not record her. We didn't see anyone get an appointment on this day. Migrants say getting one is like a lottery. They told us they've seen people book an appointment on their first try, while others have been trying for months. Migrants like Jeremy question how it's possible the U.S. can struggle with technology.
Es un poco lamentable para la tecnología que maneja Estados Unidos.
He's saying it's unfortunate because the U.S. is a first world country. Jeremy says he feels incarcerated. He never expected the app will be the real wall.
Yo en mi experiencia pensaba que la selva iba a ser lo más difícil, la selva del Darién.
He's saying he thought traveling through a dangerous jungle will be the most difficult part of his journey across 7 countries. In Ciudad Juarez, Heriberto Perez, ABC7.
ABC7 asked CBP for an interview, but a spokesman said they're not doing any interviews about the app. But just a few days after our request, CBP announced an update to the app. Starting tomorrow, officials say the CBP One app will expand the number of appointments available to 1,000 per day. CBP says migrants will also be able to schedule them 23 hours a day instead of a designated time. The app will also prioritize migrants who have waited the longest. CBP could not tell us how many appointments were available before, but it said about 90,000 have been scheduled as of May 1st. Migrants told us the app has been updated to address the errors. Count on ABC7 to let you know if the update fixes the issue. But Stephanie, it certainly just shows the desperation, but also the ebbs and flows of this journey, even if it's right at the doorstep.
So many emotions.